minus 80 seconds. T minus 70 seconds. T minus 60 seconds. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
Hello, and welcome to the Outpost Frequencies, brought to you by the lastmovieoutpost.com for all of your movie news, reviews, and everything cool about film. We've almost got a full house. We're just missing Yoda, who is still MIA. You know, that guy who used to shout about Star Wars all the time and have that vein pop up on his head when he talked about it.
You?
No, Star Trek. Did I say Star Wars?
Oh,
that's a Freudian. Sorry, that's a Freudian slip. Hello, all. Myanmar's here already. Hello, Myanmar. Nice to have you.
Hello, Myanmar. Yeah.
Like I say, it's just one of our regular viewers. Sean, if you
Myanmar.
Oh yeah, that old
Oh,
chestnut.
and Big Gator as well.
A big gator.
Big gay owl.
So, first of all, let's say hello to everybody. Sean, how was prison? Sean T, how was prison? Because you've been in there for a few weeks, haven't you?
I made a lot of friends and I had a lot of sex.
As long as you didn't push back, it's not gay.
I haven't had that much sex since I was in the Boy Scouts.
They say it's beautiful to be woken up. They say it's beautiful to be woken up by a kiss, but not in prison.
You know, as I was telling Phil and the boys before we started, I had to have a couple of teeth pulled, and I was really dreading it first time. And I decided to take my dad's advice on how to have an absolute pain-free visit to the dentist. And what you do, and this works, right? This is like perfect. You go in, and before the hold on a second, I don't know why this thing.
I've got some feedback.
Anyway, so
that's gone now.
What you do is you go in, and when the dentist leans over to get started, you grab him by the nuts, and you go, "No, we're not going to hurt each other, are we, Doc?" And you know what? And you know what? You don't even feel the slightest bit of discomfort.
Unless he's a sadomasochist and he's like, yes.
Yeah. Then you're in trouble.
You look an awful lot like Steve Martin. It's so weird.
That is the best part of that movie, by the way.
The dentist.
The dentist
when
song.
I was young, just barely a kid, my mama noticed funny things I did. Anyway, we should put that on the film club because I haven't seen Little Shop of Horrors for an awfully long time. Right,
recommend it next week, son.
I was here by myself last week. Matt, how have you been?
I've been rocking and rolling. It's been my birthday week and I've been living the dream. So all good.
Happy Mattmas.
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, Matmas. It is actually called Matmas. So, it was good. Yeah, it's Matmas. It's like Christmas, but better.
Because only because only you get presents and you don't have to buy anybody else any. Right?
Exactly. I don't have to share it with any other bastard. So
It's like
yeah, it was
it's like
great.
Christmas, but with only more lying to children.
Exactly.
And
It's brilliant.
Sean
So
B,
that's been
how are
good.
you, sir? Because you weren't here last week either.
Yeah. I was. They have this like car expo thing downtown, and I was in that traffic. So like I got home like a half hour after you had already started. So
No worries,
that's
no
not.
worries.
But
were there many beautiful women by the cars?
of course, yeah. All. I mean, it's really nice because you can just drive down the street and see them all. Because it's not like inside anywhere. It's just all in the parking lots and everything. So it's really cool, actually.
So basically,
Are
you
you
were
a
living
car
fast
nut
and
then?
furious.
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you a
It's
car
still
nut?
speed
John?
racing. What's that?
Are you a car nut?
No, not really. I mean, I like cars, as much as I guess anyone, but I'm not like I don't see a car and I can tell you like the make and model of every little inch of it or anything like that.
Okay.
The funny thing about that is for many years, I was the manager of a body detail shop at a giant dealership, and I was very good at like fixing the paint and correcting stuff like that and buffing. And people were like, "Oh," I was like, "No, I have zero interest in cars. I do not give the least shit." I only ended up in the job because the job before that I got unexpectedly laid off, and that my brother worked there, and I just started working there, thinking it would be just for like a year, and then 10 years later. It's so weird it's so weird how you end up in these things that you never imagined, you do, isn't it?
You hear buzzwords, and so you just use them every now and then. Oh yeah, collie carbon head rod. Yeah, I got one of them in my car.
People always, even to this day, people ask me, "It's like, oh, my car, I think the flamer jam's leaking into the beverage." I was like, "You got the wrong Thompson, boy. My brother does the inside. I just do the outside." I have, to quote Oddball from Kelly's Heroes, like, "Hey man, I just drive them. I don't know what makes them work."
Yeah, right. So can you drive? What do you call Americans with? Stick? Can you drive stick?
Standard shift.
Gears.
Yeah, most of my vehicles until recently have been standard shift. Jeeps, the Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
A Jeep Wrangler. It looks like the military. Yeah, it looked like the military. The Jeep.
Yeah. Like match.
Yeah, I that's what I owned most of my adult life until here. When Dad passed away, I sold my Wrangler and just started driving. He had bought a really new Dodge Ram, so I sold off that Jeep and just have been since that Ram is like a big giant 4-wheel drive and it's brand new. I was like, I can't have them both. I'm poor. They like a Jeep Wrangler gets like 12 miles per gallon. Like
my Lamborghini is a bit like that. Pisses me off.
Oh man, that's tough. Things are tough all over, aren't they?
It's horrible, man.
Shall we talk about movies?
Yeah, I suppose so. Sean B, by the way, good to see you, man. Nice to speak to you for the first time live.
Yeah, it's about time you fucking shut up.
Some of us have active social lives in the summertime.
Yeah, August is a write-off for me. It's birthdays and then wife's birthday, my birthday, and anniversaries and all sorts of shit. So
I say,
August is a write-off.
Same here, but it's just because squirrel season comes in. Nobody likes me in real life.
Only time you get laid.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for when I go to the South Korean massage parlor and.
All right, the only time you get laid for free.
Right. I am working. I've been skinning the squirrels and saving the fur because I do plan on, and you guys can thank me for this later, I am making a pair of squirrel panties for both of your wives.
Oh, yes. Can you keep the towel on it on my nose?
Absolutely. Yeah, there will be.
Yeah,
there will on the rear. There will be one tail, so don't worry.
Perfect. You are a man of my own heart.
I'm a little annoyed, Sean, because I asked you to make them for me.
I got your pair ready. Don't worry.
All right.
I just wasn't going to bring it up on stream, but
Got a little sack. Sack underneath to put your bollocks in.
They're for the nut. Squirrels like nuts.
Okay, right. So let's talk about movies, since that's what we're here for. June. It's now been delayed until 2037. I think is what it's going to be.
2027? Oh,
No,
right.
it's not that bad.
That
I was
is
gonna say what?
no,
Come on.
that's so far away that it will like nobody will care about it by then. It'll be just like remember how everybody loves Sin City, and then like
Yep.
11 or 12 years later the sequel come out and it bombed. Nobody cared anymore.
No, June. It was due out. Annoyingly, this month it was due out September, but they put it back to I think either March or April for next year. But Dennis Villeneuve has said that he would like to do the trilogy, which is very sort of yeah, that sounds very interesting. I think I'd like to see a trilogy by him because that first movie was very good.
Yeah.
I agree. I could live with the trilogy. That's for sure.
I think I've got to be honest. It's already been a toss-up recently between him and Nolan as the best working director today. But
Robert, I agree.
I don't know about that.
I had man flu last week, so I watched a couple of films. And I watched that Sicario again.
I love
Yeah.
Sicario.
I think Villeneuve was out there on his own. I think Nolan's slipped a few pegs since then.
Yeah. Villeneuve
Yeah.
consistently delivers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is painful to say because he's French.
He is he is, like I think of him in terms as I think of like Paul Thomas Anderson with you know what I mean? But he's very he's got he's got his own very distinct style. Like you're watching a Denis Villeneuve movie when you're watching it, but it's great. He's a master class.
He's a masterclass. So I'm looking forward to. I don't know the book. I've tried reading the book and I just can't get on with it. But the first
Books
film
are
was really
gay.
good.
Books are gay.
No,
Books
are for
the same. I've tried reading it and I could not get anywhere through it at all.
Oh, okay.
Just not.
So I was going to ask if there is a trilogy out of this, or he's just stretching it out, but none of us seem to know because we don't read books.
No, I think there's like from what I understand, like it's a big ass book. So
I thought there was multiple books.
Yeah,
There
there
is.
are.
Yeah, like Children of
from
June,
what I-
isn't there? Like
From what I
June
understand,
Son of
the
Doom.
1984 movie was 1.5 books, and so I'm assuming what Villeneuve has done this time is June is like the first of the books, then he's going to do the second one, and then possibly the third one. There you go.
Big
Gate
These book titles are
Gate has
horrible.
just said.
Big Gator 6 just said June Messiah, Children of June, and God Emperor of June. Oh.
Those are
Hang on,
horrible
hang on.
book
Are you
names. Jesus.
Are you talking about the books, or are you talking about the TV series, Gator?
No,
'Cause
they're
that's-
the books. They're the books.
No, but they've also done.
Books of June.
Because of June. That's a
June
very different film.
Sluts. It's
Are you
known
gonna
as June Sluts in the UK.
And you're going to show me your worm is a very different line. In that. No, but June. No, I'm sure they've done the Children of June on like the Sci-Fi Channel or something.
There was like 2 or 3.
Yeah, with
Oh,
James
he's talking about the
McAvoy.
audio play. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, ultimately, if Villeneuve wants to do a trilogy, I personally am very happy for him to carry on do that. I'm going to say yes.
The only
With all
problem-
the power and authority that I have, I'm going to say yes.
The only downside that I can see is that we'll have to see Zendaya in 3 movies total.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone hates her. I think she's all right.
Somebody's got jungle fever.
I don't want to shag it. I'm not interested in shagging people that look like Michael Jackson, but she's I don't know. I think everything I've seen of her so far, she's been all right. I don't know why everyone hates her so much. Perhaps it's
I'm
something
just
I
one of
don't
those people that I don't like people with one name.
Oh yeah,
You know?
really.
like Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus,
No, he was
Ronaldo.
Jesus Christ. He was all right.
Jesus Harold Christ, I think is his full name.
I think the age thing is a myth.
Huh?
Said I think the age thing is a myth.
You think AIDS is a myth?
The
I agree.
age.
Age.
Oh.
The age.
The age. Jesus,
Age is in the mid.
I know quite a
Just to
few
show they're
singers
trying to
of
cure it.
popular rock bands that could disagree with you about AIDS.
Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury.
All right, well, just go dig him up and let's see what he has to say.
like in what was it the other day? What's that new film with Chris Pine? The Dungeons and Dragons, where you ask him 5 questions. Is it really only 5 questions? Yes. Right.
I started
Moving
watching
on.
that Dungeons and Dragons the other week. Fucking shit.
All right,
It
let's
was-
move on. Let's move on.
It was okay.
It was
Not
shit.
not good, but okay.
No, I didn't even finish it.
It was much better than Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
No.
Let's not get into that because we've already had quite heated arguments about that already. David Ayer. Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to say his name. Ayer. Directed some good movies. I'm just trying to remind myself of the ones he did before. He did Fury, that's right. He just came up with
He's
Fury.
done
Great
Street,
movie.
Harsh Times, Street Kings, Fury,
Yeah.
Street
Training.
Kings,
Yeah.
great film.
Yeah.
I watched that Street Kings after one of your. Was it yours, Sean? Sean
Yeah.
too. I'm going to call
Yeah.
you Tom. Thompson and Birdie. All right, that's how I'm going to refer to you. After your review about Street Kings, I watched it. I was like, mate, this is amazing. I can't believe I've never seen it.
It's a great movie,
Very good.
isn't it?
Fantastic movie.
Off the back of Fury, he kind of had Hollywood at his feet and he could do anything he wanted. So they said that he wanted to make Suicide Squad, which he wanted to make as a personal project, and he was quite involved with it. Unfortunately, they didn't do any test screenings on silly things like Batman versus Superman, and there was another superhero movie that didn't do particularly well, and the producers started to interfere quite horrendously with Suicide Squad, so much so that it just became the movie that he didn't.
But did they?
I genuinely think they did, and so much so.
Yeah,
that,
it was reported at the time that.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah,
I remember that he had a very different tone, and then Guardians of the Galaxy come out, and they were like, "Oh, we got to make it, make it more like this." Now,
and so they changed everything, but I mean, to Ayer, it was quite heartbreaking because it just wasn't the movie that he wanted to make. So much so that the fans sort of got together and they said that, release the Ayer cut is still trending on Twitter and so forth. But apparently he said it really broke him and broke his spirit within Hollywood. I can't imagine working in Hollywood is particularly much fun.
I can't imagine that somebody would want to make a personal movie and then choose a bunch of DC or any comic book characters to make that personal movie, It's like you're using somebody, you're not even using somebody, somebody's IP, you're using a major corporation conglomerates, basically cash cows, to tell a story. And that's your I mean, dude, I think he just had some sort of mental lapse or judgment breakdown there, the whole thing with that.
It's the same as we're going to come on to Fincher in a bit, but I mean, it's the same with David Fincher because he didn't even put Alien 3 on his CV for an awfully long time because he said the producers just messed with the movie and it wasn't the movie that he wanted to make. And I think working in Hollywood, unless you are doing independent stuff, you're not. As soon as you start working for a bigger company, all they are going to start doing is interfering and sort of like, oh, do you think this is a better idea? Oh, do you think that's a better idea? And it's just not going to be the movie that you want to make.
Has there ever been a case in Hollywood where the studio executives and producers and that have interfered in the director's vision and it's been a success?
Yeah.
Go on, tell me one.
Yeah, Cecil just had a video about that the other day. The original Final Destination. They left them alone to do what they wanted. They test screened it. The audience was like, "This ending is dog shit. This is dumb." And the studio's like, "Listen, we got to change this." And they didn't want to, but they did it anyway. Massive hit. How many sequels now? I mean, sometimes
sequels don't mean it's good. Though. I mean, look at Fast and Furious.
Sorry, Chad's just made a good point there. He said, "Agree." It's like trying to make a personal sandwich at a Subway counter.
Yeah,
that's what it's like trying to make something like in Hollywood. That's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because Terminator 2, there is an extended edition to that, which sucks because it just really drags out the middle and it's kind of boring. But I don't know if that was studio or if I don't know if that was a studio that wanted to cut out or what.
What's the difference in T2 Cameron cut to T2 theatrical release then?
There's stuff cut out of it.
There's some really cool stuff cut out of it, though.
Like what?
I mean, it's
you get this extended scene where they remove the chip out of his head, and there's this.
Is that the Cameron cut? Is it?
Yeah. There's also a third.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's also a third cut called like the Skynet cut or something. That So the only way to watch it is you got to get the special edition DVD Blu-ray, and you got to put in this code, and at a certain part of the this is ridiculous that you even have to do this, but it gives you a third cut that's even longer than the other two, and it's got like everything. I guess it's probably like his original cut without, but it's really it's worth watching. You know, I mean, if you don't mind long movies, yes, absolutely.
I like the long movies, but I do have an issue with James Cameron because he's so up his own arse. I think if you could let him, he'd make a 24-hour film about a fucking boat or something.
Yeah, this is like before he lost it, you know, before he really got too pretentious.
I mean, I think it doesn't add any. I mean, what's taken out from in the theatrical version, I think is perfectly fine. It doesn't add anything like any kind of like, oh, okay, now this makes sense, you know, like why this happened or anything like that. And like, I mean, it's not that it's bad stuff or anything, but it drags the movie out, and it's like, oh, there's just this middle area that's just, you can feel that it's stretched out in this area.
Sorry that some of us have attention spans longer than a kid on a fucking ADHD kid on, let's say it's Ritalin or something.
I still say the other day that the second of the Spider-Man movies Across the Spider-Verse was far too long.
You know what's too long?
It's only on for like an hour, aren't they?
No, it's like 2.5 hours.
You know what?
The cartoon.
You know what's too long? You know what's always too long?
My dick.
You talking? Yeah, that's what she said.
Can that be too long?
That's what your mums say.
You ruined my joke, you cocksucker. And it would have been a perfect segue too, but now never mind.
Although Big Gate has just said there, look, directors either make their own stuff, cough like Rebel Moon, or do the assignment. And I think that's true. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what Rebel Moon is like because, I mean, unfortunately, it is written.
Going back to Fincher, it even had he made the Aliens 3 that he wanted, and then you look at all of Fincher's projects since, how does any movie like Alien fit into the David Fincher catalog? You know what I mean?
Well, perhaps he used it as a stepping stone to get him to do what he wanted. Which
it was a very early film for him.
Worked, but backfired originally.
I know, but just think of how like out of place that would be. You know what I mean?
But again, maybe he had something which he wanted to create, which all fitted perfectly. But
I feel like a lot of times that happens with directors, like, you know, they want to do something that's out of their, you know, safe zone, you know, do something a little bit different, you know, kind of. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
Yes, you can. A perfect example of that is Ben Wheatley doing Meg. You know, Ben Wheatley's early stuff is very, very surreal and weird and whatnot. But Meg is a summered Hollywood blockbuster. In every it ticks every box of just kind of mindless action.
Yeah.
Well, or what's his name? Christopher McQuarrie, most famous for the Mission Impossible stuff, doing Way of the Gun early on. An excellent movie, by the way.
Yeah. Way of the Gun is fantastic.
Look, didn't James Cameron do Piranha or Piranha 2?
Piranha 2, yeah.
There you go. So I think they take on projects that's going to get their foot in the door.
Funny enough, I watched Piranha for the first time the other day.
Which one?
I say first time. The first one. And I didn't realize it was Joe Dante. No, the original.
Yeah.
The original.
Yeah.
I love the scene where the kids are all getting attacked. Oh, I laughed. Oh, it's great.
Kids dying horribly are always entertaining.
Can you keep the name tags? It's necessary for the experience. No, I don't control this stuff. Sorry, I'm just reading through. Right. If I get rid of the banners, right, there's the names. Boba Phil, Sean Bird, Matt and Sean T. All right? So just pay attention. It's not my fault.
I just want to point out, if you say Sean T fast enough, it sounds like a trans black stripper.
Sean T, yeah.
Coming to the center stage, Sean T.
Sean T. Expected to be shot down in a drive-by next week, but it weren't his fault.
Say it like this, Shantae.
Shantae.
Now you just sound southern.
Shantae. Right, okay.
I look like long nails that click together.
Yeah, the wig.
You'll see him on YouTube in a week's time robbing a store and then getting beaten up for it. Going, I didn't do nothing.
No, I'll just commit suicide before the end of the week.
David Fincher, speaking of David Fincher, in a seamless segue, which no one will ever notice, has released a new trailer for The Killer.
I'm a simple man. I see David Fincher and Michael Fassbender. I pays my money.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to the bloke who was involved in the script for Fight Club 7 and the game, I'm like, yep, sign me up.
Yeah, there's just nothing that can go wrong with this.
Yeah, it's going to be a
seriously. I haven't been NGL for ages. It's Boba Phil. Okay,
yeah, he's not,
I now identify
George Lucas anymore.
Yeah, I am not George Lucas anymore. I now identify as Boba Phil. Thank you.
You probably say that you're NNGL now.
Right, anyway, so yeah, what did everybody make of the trailer?
Do you know what? This can't come quick enough. This film cannot come quick enough.
As soon as I read the article and who was in it, I didn't watch the trailer because I do not want any. I want to go into it absolutely with no.
I must
Sean, it doesn't give anything away. It doesn't
I don't care.
I
want to go in. Yeah, I don't want anything. You know, I want to go into it absolutely with nothing other than.
Oh, I won't mention that Fassbender gets killed at the end. Then.
Son of a bitch.
He's in the trailer. His body double is Lizzo. Oh, see, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Oh, Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. Yes, the hillbilly's
Heidi,
back.
yeah.
He's
Heidi,
not showing his face.
I'm sorry I got banned from Instagram, Heidi, but you can find me on Telegram. I did. I got permanent. I've like IP blocked and device banned. So
for what?
What do you think, Matt?
It could be a culmination of various things.
Well, yeah.
For things like what?
Apparently you can't.
Stream has been cancelled.
Apparently you can't make jokes about certain demographics or certain religious.
No. We're talking about David Fincher's Killer. We're not talking about this.
I put one on Twitter earlier. I put the Doge dog phoning up and asking for 6 million pizzas, and they go, "There's not enough ovens." He's like, "I know." I'm waiting for a ban for that.
6 million pizzas. How would you bake 6 million pizzas?
We haven't got enough ovens, sir.
I don't think the math works out on that, Matthew.
Will you please stop before we get kicked off? Look, Heidi's just sent $5 for bail money for Sean. Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you, Heidi.
How nice of her. It won't go to Sean. It will get to Sean eventually. It'll be a trickle down thing.
I'll get my 10-cent cut.
Yeah. By the time Yoda and Stark take their hosting money.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm the same as you. When like I said, I read the article and I thought, I don't want to watch the trailer because that's something I want to go into virginal. And so yeah, I'm highly looking. Well, yeah, dry, exactly. But
we all want to go into something virginal. Feel
something.
Yeah,
it's like it's so weird because you'd think
I
miss you guys, but now that you're all here, right, let's move on then to another trailer. Michael Mann's Ferrari, which at first I thought was weird because it just kind of said Michael Mann's Ferrari. And I thought
he just wanted to flex on us about his new car.
It's about fucking time that Ferrari gets a movie. Like I feel like everyone else shits on Ferrari. Like I remember there's a Harley Davidson kind of like a 3-part miniseries where there's like a point where I believe they're shitting on Ferrari. You have the
Lamborghini.
Yeah, that movie. Then there's the Ford versus Ferrari. Like all these movies are shitting on Ferrari. It's like finally we're gonna get something from Ferrari. Doesn't look great, but
just in the chat, just to mention Heidi. Sorry, yeah, Yoda. He's not dead. He's just not very well at the moment. He will be back with us soon.
It's hard to get rid of age when you catch it that second time.
Well, we've told him about sucking dirty cocks, but he will not listen.
Seriously.
See, Heidi, you just donated the $5. Where do you think that's going?
When I cut these down and have to upload them, I have to go through a section to get monetized where it says, is there any offensive language or anything else in here that needs to be done? So, of course, now I've got to, yes, there's age jokes,
so
there's
let's
gay
make
sex
your job
jokes.
harder.
So what will happen is one day you'll have to cut this down. There'll be tick box that goes, I'm not involved. He's Sean Thompson.
Yeah, that's
So you just click it, he'll just do it for you. Just go, you ain't earning shit from this.
Yeah.
Hey, Troll Prince the White's here today.
Hey,
Yeah,
TT, how's it
so-
hanging?
Why don't you
So,
join
yeah.
us? Why don't he send him the link? Somebody send him the
No.
link. Let him.
I don't want to talk to any of these people. My goodness.
Yeah, Jesus.
Ah,
Dear.
TT,
You've read
TT
their
keeps-
comments.
Heidi, do you want to
TT
join
keeps
us?
the comments going. He's like the comments king.
Heidi can join us if she wants to be on camera.
Stop inviting
Yeah, no, that'd
everyone
be
in.
Heidi's hot as.
We're cooler when
Hell's
they want
Hinges.
to come on and can't.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. Chad's just asked that. I do. Is this about the picture I put up with Ray Skywalker? Because I put up the big boobed picture on.
Nobody
on the
cares about
Instagram
what.
account.
Nobody cares what you put on Instagram.
I think you mean Ray Palpatine.
Yeah, sorry, Palpatine. What did I say?
It's hard to believe anyone cares about Instagram at all.
Actually, it's the most cool social media, and you're out of touch because you're obviously a fucking boomer.
Actually,
I don't
Yeah,
use
social media.
Facebook.
I might just put my MySpace link up so I can get everybody
Yeah.
going to that. I'm still friends with that Tom guy. Oh, what a great guy he is.
He's a hell of a
big
lot
one.
better. He was a lot
Big-
cooler than Zuckerberg, that's for sure.
Big
Anyway,
87
back to
says
my-
that Ferrari isn't his jam. I agree. I don't like Ferraris. I'd much rather have a Lambo.
You know what? Magnum PI and Sonny Crockett both drove Ferrari, so I can't really. I mean, bro, who's cooler than those two?
Bruce Wayne, who drove a Lambo.
Do you
Who?
remember?
He also
Bruce-
has a Batmobile, which is cooler than all of the cars.
But there's nothing
Who is-
gayer than Batman.
How dare you?
I got a car that looks like a bat. How fucking
It
stupid
doesn't look
is
like a
that?
bat.
What it? Yeah, it does.
Ah,
It's got
do you
bat
know what-
wings.
I want a
Do you remember
DeLorean.
the
I want a
movie?
Marty McFly DeLorean.
That's
Oh
No, I
yeah.
was gonna say,
You
do you
know,
remember
there's
the
a guy
movie?
there's a guy that lives not even a quarter mile from me that's got a DeLorean, and it is in absolute mint shape, and he drives it all the time.
Yeah, one of my friends has got a DeLorean. I'll dig out a picture from a few years back. He's got a DeLorean because he's a Back to the Future nut. He bought it just to do it up to take it to conventions. So
That's very
I'll dig
cool.
a picture out and chuck it to you. Have a
Please.
I was going
Yeah,
to say,
please do
the
that.
movie.
And can
the
I
movie
just say,
Crazy-
sorry, Phil, 1 second. I just want to say that yesterday, Marty McFly landed in 1885.
Did he?
Yesterday was the date.
in the movie.
In the well, not in real life, unless you know him. Yes, yesterday he went to the Old West from 1955. A little bit of movie trivia for you. There you go.
I did not know that.
You do
He's
now,
not-
son.
Marty's not looking too good these days, you know. He needs to go back to 1985 and find a cure for fucking.
He's a little
Parkinson's.
shaky these days.
He's a little shaky.
I-
Yeah.
Excuse me, I've got a signature from Michael J. Fox. No, actually, no, let's not do that joke.
It was. He just had his hand steady.
Michael J. Fox has just joined the stream.
He looked when Michael J. Fox
He's holding the
tries,
camera.
Michael J. Fox writing looks like he tried to write using an etch a sketch.
Oh, Michael, when you signed that signature, you didn't have to go over a bumpy road in a car.
Fun
That's what
fact:
it looked like.
Michael J. Fox holds the camera for every found footage movie.
Heyo.
Oh, yeah, you ain't
Oh, that's
cutting
good.
nothing out of this. You're not
Thank-
cutting anything out of this stream, Phil.
You know what though?
Just write it off.
His wife loves it though. He just sticks his fingers in and
Mormons call it soaking.
soaking. Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
Stop-
covered
stop.
Michael Mann's
I'm watching
Ferrari.
this going, oh my god. This is the first live stream of these four in like a month, and it's an absolute car crash.
Wait for the scream. So,
Oh,
Ahsoka
pass.
this week.
Nope. Moving on.
Um,
Nobody cares.
this just-
Nobody
this
cares.
just keep-
Nobody
the
cares.
The talkback says otherwise. This has just still been getting absolutely worse and worse. It's now 3 episodes in, and it's
I'm
just.
calling you out, Phil. You've got a fucking Ahsoka bobblehead, which we've discussed before.
It's
No, I
not.
haven't.
It's not
Really?
a bubble.
So the
It's,
Ahsoka bobblehead, you Disney shill.
it's not a
hiding
bu-
it.
Prove it.
it's not a bobblehead. It's a fleshlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Have you seen the meme going around of where they've got
Prove
old
it.
Ben talking?
It's Phil's office. Off screen.
Damn it. Oh, anybody can Photoshop stuff like that. This is, anyway, as Sean B has proved, none of this is real.
That's a green screen.
It's a green screen.
You'll see him next week take her CEO with next to Kathleen Kennedy. Amazing.
I've got her head photo on a doll. No.
Looks Phil's so disgusted he's transformed into a dog.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I decided to play with my dog for a little while you all talk about Star Wars shit.
Right, Ahsoka, it's still getting worse. There is a great meme going around of old Ben talking. I'm not going to put it up here because it's really, really bad. Someone's wife spoke. Nice one, Heidi.
Hey-oh.
And it's got Obi-Wan going, Ahsoka, yes, yeah, she was Anakin's what you call it?
Who cares what it's called? Who gives a shit?
No, I can't put it in a way where it's not going to get us kicked off. But basically, about how
We're beyond that
him and Anakin used to double team her and stuff like that. It's quite good. I kind of want to put it up, but
I want to watch
Like,
fucking
when
movie
you
now.
what you mean, like a Chinese finger trap double team?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Spit
I'll put the meme up. I'll find the meme and send it to you, Sean, because I think you'll like it.
I don't want to see that shit.
Yes, you do. This one you do. I promise. This one you do.
I know Thompson wouldn't have seen it. Have you been watching it, Sean B?
No, I don't know this character. I don't.
I'm done with it.
Speaking of that, actually saying that, there was a good tweet I saw the other day from, I think it was 2020, from Mark Hamill. And it just literally said, I don't know. Yeah, no, but he said, I don't know who Ahsoka Tano is. And it was like, yeah, we all wish the same thing, Mark.
This live stream has fallen to the point where we're referencing Mark Hamill tweets from 2020.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about it then. Right. Shut up. And let's talk about The Fly.
Okay, here we go.
Now we're talking. Here we go.
In last week's Film Club, we will be doing the live results of this week's Film Club in 20 minutes. But yeah, last week's best voted movie was The Fly from 1986. Did everybody watch it?
I did, yeah.
Yes.
I did, yeah. I've seen it recently. I didn't watch it just because of that. Nobody tells me what to do.
I even watched the second one afterwards.
I did as well. I like retro review that received about 4 comments. So I was like, "Fuck you."
Cecil did.
An hour.
Cecil did an excellent video on The Fly too.
Recently?
No, it's been a while ago, but you can just
Yeah,
Google.
I watched it after I've done my review. I think my review was better.
Well, there goes Cecil ever coming back on again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, great. We've swapped Cecil for Matt. This is the worst deal.
Cecil went to the big Philadelphia Sci-Fi Mon Con last weekend, and I was going to tell stories about it. Then I realized like I'm telling Cecil's stories like third hand, so that's kind of stupid.
Just name dropping.
Yeah,
I still haven't.
I'll be like,
watched it.
Cecil met this famous guy, bro.
And like, he shook his hand, and then I shook Cecil's hand. So like I've like almost touched him.
He did.
That works.
He did save me a poster though, so that's cool.
Nice.
Right, Milo, you said you still haven't watched The Fly, man. It is such a great movie. It's so well done.
Who hasn't watched it yet?
Mainamari. Mainamari.
Myanmar.
Mainami.
It's a good job I'm not dyslexic. Otherwise, this would be really embarrassing.
You know what?
Anyway,
It's a Cronenberg film, so you know it's got all the marks of Cronenberg. Absolutely disgusting, revolting, terrifying body horror.
Yeah.
I think he was the perfect person to make that movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, compared to the original, in the original, which I do remember quite fondly as a kid, but in the original, it was kind of like the arm and the head
and the arm,
was swapped with the fly, and it was a good horror. Don't get me wrong, the original was a good horror, but it is stupid to think about it because it's kind of like the head is where the brain is. So how did his brain stay inside the fly's head?
Well, no,
dude, you're thinking way too much about it.
In the original, he's like deteriorating. Like as it goes on, he's like, Like he's just barely in control.
But the fly could still talk. The little fly with the little human head could still talk. So obviously his brain's in there as well.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. You know, I think it's like half and half, honestly, on both of them.
It was one of those films that it is, yeah, like I say, it's still a good film. It's got Vincent Price in it. It's still a very, very good film. It's great.
Cheesy sci-fi schlock. I mean, it's...
Yeah. That end scene, as a kid, was terrifying. It's really harrowing.
Help me.
It's, as a kid, I remember, like I say, I was scared of spiders for quite a while after that. Thanks, Dad.
I was with the remake. I could have swore there was a scene in that movie where they were watching the original, or it was on a TV or something. But there's not. It must be a different movie, I guess.
That was that was in the version in our world before they fired up the Large Hadron Collider at CERN.
But yeah, the remake was a clever idea to have this sort of them spliced at a genetic level so that he slowly started to transform into Brundlefly. And like I say, David Cronenberg was such a perfect director. And just the film, it's just I couldn't fault it. I couldn't watching it again. I could not fault it from beginning to end.
It's a perfect horror film. You know, it's funny that the John Carpenter's The Thing remake was just trounced. This comes out a few years later. It's even more gory and downbeat, and gets critical acclaim. In its time.
Yeah, and I didn't realize. It never sort of struck me before. Well, I say struck me before. I probably just forgot. I haven't seen it for many years, but I'd forgotten. And Murray, wherever he's called, it's mild spoilers. I forgot that the machine fused him with the metal, but the scene where she can't kill him because she obviously still loves him and still thinks that there is a chance that he can get better. It's perfect. It's brilliant.
No, he lost a star for me for that.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, in today's modern society, it would have just been she would have just blown his head off and lived a perfect life.
I said to you before, I've been with my wife for 6 years now, and if I was transforming into some sort of fly, she's been with me all these years. She'd be like, "Fuck you, you are disgusting." So, and Gina Davis has only been shafting Seth Brundle for about 2 weeks. If that
happened nowadays, she'd start an OnlyFans and have him on there, and it'd be the world's first fly
puking on her tits.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I didn't think you could get lower with the OnlyFans, but the puking on titties that did it.
We can. There's many levels below these.
Oh, we can keep going below that.
I think if they would have spent more time with I think if they would have spent more time with Brundlefly and her talking about finding a way, because there's nothing really there ever about him finding a way out of this. I mean, he was doing some kind of calculations and stuff like that, but like nothing where he having conversations with her. And then, then all of a sudden at the end, he's like, hey, guess what? You and me, we're going to go together and we're going to mend together as one person with the baby. And it's like, well, that just came out of nowhere. I think that there would have been more conversation there. Maybe then it would have not felt a little off with her being like, no, I don't know if I want to kill this gigantic monster fly.
Exactly.
I love it when she gives birth to the maggot.
Yeah. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I still remember wincing at it because it was just, again, when it happens, you just sort of think, oh man, that's it's the fact it's all sticky and it's moving and everything, and it's just it's great. It's so great.
I wonder if it's like a bot fly too, where like, never mind. I better not go any further with that.
So you've stunned us all to silence right away.
Come down here and throw up on your dinner.
I hate flies and maggots. I got a little bit of a phobia about them. They're fucking disgusting things. So I only ever saw this film when it first came out, and I had no real intention of watching it again. But then when we done the film club list, I think we only had about 5 films. So I was like, I need another film. And there was a fucking fly literally landed on my screen. I was like, the fly, that'll do. Hoping no one would go, yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a good film. And you bastards all voted for it.
When I first saw it win, I was like...
That's so weird, because I thought of Showgirls.
Yeah,
You know what? It was a great film, and I really enjoyed it. Now I'm an older man, and I've had 4 kids, and like I said in my review, I've had to mop up wounds and sick and shit, and so I was a lot more prepared for this. I mean, and it was really good. So much so that I went and watched The Fly 2 the other day, like you did, Birdie, as well.
Yeah.
It's a very
not
the Fly. The Fly 2 is a very different film.
Yeah,
but it's still a good film, though.
It is.
It's not as bad as I remember it being, but I still didn't like it overall.
Sorry, I was saying somebody just said who's Sean T, and I was like going that one down there.
Yeah,
that's
Magic.
The black stripper.
That's Sean B. That's Sean T, and that's Matt.
Magic. Sean B. Sean Beard. Sean T. Cartoon.
The second one. So, someone said something about the dialogue being bad in the second one, which is it's pretty stupid. I'll give it credit though, like the part with the dog, the dog that doesn't transform very well, and then when he goes and finds the dog, and he puts it down, like I really liked that. I thought that was really good. It gave something to that movie that kind of reminded me of the first movie. That I do not remember that in the second movie at all. And stuff like that. Like I was like, I like where they're kind of going with the characters there a little bit. It's the runtime's longer. I don't think that really helped it out for me. It's basically the same exact thing with like the first one. As long as like the first one, I think was a perfect. It was like 90 minutes.
What is it with you in movies longer than 90 minutes?
It's not. I mean, I do like longer movies. I like the extended version of Troy. Like that's like 3.5 hours long. It's not
with Brad Pitt?
What's that?
Is that with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
I watched that the other night. I thought it was some of the biggest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
I love that movie. Fanboy.
I like
being gay, but no,
I love that movie. And like the three, it's like 3.5 hours long for the extended cut or whatever, which is now see that's a movie that adds like more to it and gives you more to like. It's more meat on the bone. That's really
I don't mind a long film as long as it's interesting and holds my attention.
I mean, it has to be, like
that's kind of the point of them. Feel
no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like to say
it
has to work.
Spider-Man and Across the Universe was such a beautiful film. The direction was so cinematically brilliant.
Can we stop talking about Spider-Man and Across the Universe or whatever?
No, I'm just saying it was far too long. And ultimately, it's like a kid's film. And I'm thinking, if I had a kid, there's no way he would sit there for 2.5 hours transfixed to the screen.
You know what? Those movies would be really good if the main character wasn't a minority.
Well, Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
That's all going to cut out.
Miles Morales and Across the Universe.
Right. Let's move on.
Hold on.
I'm going to get a beer while you...
Someone brought up Daphne Zuniga.
Yeah.
In the fight too. Like now, when I saw her, I know who she is from Spaceballs, and I looked her up, and those are the only 2 movies I saw her in was Spaceballs and The Fly 2. I felt like I've seen her like in a bunch of other stuff, but apparently
it's
not.
weird, isn't it? Sometimes you see actors and you think, oh yeah, they've been in loads of stuff, and you say you look them up and it's like, no, they've done 2 films that I know, and then
it's because you've seen those movies 100 times each. Is only I guess.
Catherine Mary Stewart from The Last Starfighter, and then she was in Night of the Comet, and then that's it.
No, she was in Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh yeah, she was actually. Yeah,
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
And she's very hot, or was. I don't know what she looks like now.
So was Daphne Zuniga the bird that Martin Brundle was slipping a limp to him? Was that?
Can you not say her name again?
Zuniga. Zuniga.
That's how I said it. That's how it reads.
Anyway,
it's you say
word.
He said it with the soft A, not an ER.
Yeah. Zuniga is how you're supposed to say that.
It's my
Let's carry on saying it. That makes it a little more fun.
So was she the bird that Martin Brundle was slipping a limp to? Then was she the main female character
in what?
In The Fly 2?
Yeah. She's the main female. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But just, I want to give a shout out actually to Gina Davis. I didn't realize she was such a smoke show.
She was not. She's never been pretty.
No, shut up.
No, like you say, it's the
she's
boat
not
face.
anymore. I looked her up and I was like, oh, never mind.
Whoa.
Never
not
was.
well.
Never was.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
back in the
Heidi's pronounced it right. Put that on screen.
No,
Phil, while I grab it up.
I'm not putting that up either. Bloody.
Heidi,
I am
good
so
job.
tempted to.
Do it. Do it.
No. Righty hell. Let's
The
move
funny,
on then too.
the funny thing is she said, "Nope. Let me.
Nope.
I gotta control myself."
I
No,
grabbed my
no.
mouse to do it, and I'm like,
Heidi, that's very good.
Anyway,
very racist of you.
I'm trying to find my article now. Where the hell is that?
Wait, Sean,
1999.
Sean T,
Okay,
talking
so-
about Heidi, I saw a nice meme the other day. It had someone turning around to look at the camera like that. And it's like when you're in Argentina and you sneeze and someone behind you says Gesundheit.
Yep, that's Heidi's grandpa. When you're in Uruguay and somebody says Gesundheit, you know that you've walked into the part of town that Heidi's family's from.
I saw it. I was meant to send it to you and I forgot all about it.
Heidi, just to let you know that, yeah, if the show gets cancelled, you don't get your $5 back because I've already spent it. I've already spent it on another stream with a girl. Well, I'm assuming it's a girl.
Wow. So you just paid for someone's OnlyFans. Congratulations.
Yeah, you got 2 months of
That's right.
he got 2 months of the Fly and Gina Davis OnlyFans account.
Right, so 1999, I still think was the best year for movies. Now,
No,
Yoda, who's
no.
not here,
There's 1981, 82, 83, 84,
Everything 80s,
85,
yeah.
86, 87, 88,
No.
89.
let's break down.
Even in the 90s, 1991 was probably a better year for movies than.
Let's talk about some of the films from 1999 to start with.
Let's do that.
Okay.
We had quite a game changer of
T-
a movie.
Troll Prince is now banned, by the way, for saying something completely retarded.
Yeah.
Come on, Troll Prince.
Yeah, no, I know that's just no. Right,
Troll
so
Prince.
we
Troll Prince, I won't have a bad word said about you, my friend, but that's a bad take.
Yeah, that's a very bad take, my friend.
we had, for starters, this is the first movie. I mean, obviously, there's lots came out, but The Matrix came out in 1999, which was a game changer.
Oh my
I knew you were
god,
gonna say that.
that is such a. Oh man, like it might.
It's a game changer in the photography and the style of making films. It was a game changer.
I mean,
Yeah,
it invented
yeah.
bullet time.
It really
Kind of.
was.
It was. It kind of had the first kind of like it was kind of the first gung fu movie.
That's not
Phil,
true.
The Matrix is a masterclass.
Masterclass.
I mean,
It is.
okay,
It's-
so the Matrix like revolutionized action movies from that point forward. I mean, I'll give it that. I mean,
Well, it
the
changed.
steampunk kind of look, the leather stuff, the
Cyberpunk.
yeah, all that stuff.
It gave nerds a look.
It did.
Nerds already had a
Finally
look.
they finally had the dark sunglasses and the long coat. They finally had a look they could be proud of.
That's true.
I don't know about that.
Oh, The Matrix is a damn fine, perfect
It is.
movie. And yes,
It is. It is. It is.
Troll
There's-
Prince, the 90s did rule is the best decade.
That's
We've
just that is
The
objectively
80s?
not true.
90s is better than the 60s, and there's not been anything close since.
The 1980s is the peak of human evolution and achievement.
I mean, yeah, 80s was the best in everything. You know, movies, music, television.
Cartoons,
I'm-
toys.
Cartoons,
I'm talking
toys.
I'm talking about a
Guns.
single year. I'm talking about a single year in 1999.
Yeah,
I'm still
true.
saying
We
it's the best.
deviated. Sorry, Phil.
We're moving on. Right, from The Matrix, you also had what is again possibly cinematic perfection, Fight Club.
Hold on, Phil. Hold on. There's a
You're
film
not
that
supposed
there's
to.
a-
We're not supposed to talk about
Not supposed to-
that.
Phil, there's a film
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't mention in your list, which was a precursor for The Matrix, which was The 13th Floor.
Excellent film, yeah.
Oh,
Have you
really?
never- have you
Because
never
it was
seen
made
it?
in 1999, Sean.
Have you ever seen The 13th Floor?
I think I have.
I haven't.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if
it's
I've heard
been a
of it.
long time. It's
Right,
coming
I'll
back
tell you
on
what, that's my
list.
that's my recommendation for Film Club next week then. It
Right.
is a precursor for The Matrix. Basically, The Matrix took the 13th floor and went, we could turn this concept into some like crazy, mind-bending sci-fi action adventure. But it's literally how people live in a simulation and they discover that they live in a simulation and they try and explore the world to find out
Maybe I have heard
what's
of it.
going on. It's
It
kind of a
sounds
cross
familiar.
between. Do you remember like Dark City?
I've
It's a little bit of
definitely
a cross
seen
between
it.
Dark City and the Matrix.
I've never seen Dark City.
Jesus, have you
Right.
seen anything? Why is this? Why is
You've
this
never seen
kind of
Dark
mo-
City?
Why is this kind of movie
Dark
live
City.
stream?
It seems to be a running thing for me to not see movies you guys bring up.
Yeah, well, I
Anyway,
can't.
we're
I
moving
agree.
on. Fight Club. One of the
Fight
best
Club.
films ever made.
We're
ever.
not, and it unfortunately we can't talk about it. That's
Can't talk about it.
that's the catch-22.
Right,
Moving
moving on.
on.
Then. So we've got movies like now. This one split some of the people that on the talkback, but American Beauty, I still think is a brilliant film.
You know,
It's-
Rob
yeah,
Rob
overrated,
Eggers.
though.
Yeah, it's overrated. I don't.
I think I okay. The whole teenage girl thing, you know, that it's annoying, but like now there's someone
thing.
that I watch on YouTube, and he made a
Rob
a
Eggers.
really good
Rob Eggers.
no, it's Nick Rekieta. He the
You know,
like,
I
way he,
you know I know him.
how
We both were in a group for another podcast fan group,
Red
and
Boys.
I knew him when he had like we were like would talk to each other and stuff back when he only had like 12, you know, followers on YouTube and stuff. He's pretty cool.
Fair enough. Okay,
All
carry
right,
on.
You
So-
name dropper.
right?
Sorry that I'm more important than you
So-
losers.
Now, like the way he explains the American Beauty is like you know, he goes through this transformation and stuff like that, and it's, you know, mostly because he wants to bang this. I don't know if her age is even ever mentioned.
Age
Like,
is just a number, bro.
that's gonna get you in prison. But like,
Again,
Yeah.
he gets his
No one will stop me
comeuppance
from dating
from
you
doing
with-
that, you know, from going to that kind of level of not caring, that kind of like he got so nihilistic, you know,
It's
about
called-
everything.
It's called being based, Sean.
You know, you're putting a new spin on base.
Not in my circles.
16 is legal. Yeah, I mean, like in some states, I don't know about how many of them, but yeah,
10
I mean,
year, 16 plus no greater than 10 years in the state of Kentucky. So
God, well, Kentucky's such a fucking.
don't you fucking dare, motherfucker.
Phil, this is where you just sit back and watch the hillbillies go at war with one another. Like a it's like Deliverance.
I'll get the banjo. Let's move on then to and
I've actually
Green
got a
Mile.
banjo.
That's a movie
Green
which
Mile's a
is
great
like
movie.
Green Mile is
17 hours long.
an excellent movie and an excellent adaptation of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, so yeah, that Sixth Sense.
That's probably,
Damn fine film.
you know what?
It's kind of-
It's a great movie on one watch. It has
Yeah,
no
yeah.
rewatch.
After-
It has
Oh
no
no! Do you know
rewatch
what?
value.
No,
It
I was
does
going to
have
say
rewatch.
actually, it's a good movie on first watch, but it is a good movie on the second watch because then you can watch all the subtle nuances of what goes
all
on.
of red.
Yeah,
then
but
it's
that's
kind of
it.
after
But that's
that,
it.
yeah.
Maddie, how have you
Um,
never seen The Sixth Sense, for fuck's sake?
Oh my god, man! I swear to God, we're dealing. It's like I'm fucking having a live stream and comments with my brother's kids around here.
Okay, so right. So no, it's not controversial. The Iron Giant is brilliant.
It's
Quality.
Isn't that the guy that did The Incredibles? Wasn't that like his first big animated
yeah,
movie?
Brad
Birds.
Bird.
Brad
Brad
Bird,
Bird.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brad Bird.
Did
The
he do Mission
Incredibles.
Impossible 4 as well?
Did he?
I
Yes, he
think he's done
did.
Mission
Yeah,
Impossible
yeah,
4.
yeah.
The Incredibles.
Which, right.
The Incredibles isn't are fucking perfect movies. That's how you really do superhero movies.
I mean, the
right there,
first
boys.
one's good. The second one was horrible. So-
Yeah, second one. Well, the second one with a bit girl powered in it. So
We're talking about the
I mean,
Iron
that didn't
Giant.
bother me, but like
It's a little-
Iron
it's a-
Giants.
It's a little woke, yeah. The second one's a little.
But-
Iron Giant
the-
is brilliant. That's still the gold standard for modern animation. And obviously,
I
you've
love the
got
fact
Jennifer
that it's just that
Aniston as well.
That old classic B movie of a kid
Yeah,
who kind of
giant,
finds his
giant nuclear
Iron
robot.
Giant.
Yeah.
With Jennifer
and-
Aniston and obviously and mentions of Superman. Everyone's a winner.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway,
Another film, The Blair Witch Project.
excellent little horror movie that did a lot better than it has any right to
Yeah.
have done.
I
That
I
is a
said in the
one-off
article
movie,
that the original movie was made on about a budget of about $60,000, and the marketing campaign that the directors went through, they actually had actress Heather Donahue, who plays the main part. They actually had her listed as dead because they thought the film was that real.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, they went through this.
That film's only got a one-watch factor, though.
Kind of,
Sorry,
yeah.
And do you know what? I revisited it a few years ago, and I sat there and I thought, yeah, this is nowhere near as good as the first time I watched it.
Well, the problem with it is the shaky cam found footage is a little too intense.
The Michael J. Fox special, yeah.
Yeah, the Michael J.
Yeah.
It I know it doesn't bother some people, but some of those like really quick turns and spins around, like I found myself being like, "Oh, boys, I'm going to."
That's the first movie that had found footage, right? That's
I don't know.
Found footage as a thing.
Well, maybe not technically, but found footage.
It was the first big one.
What was it?
Cannibal Souls?
Holocaust? Like that, you
yeah,
call
that
that
kind of
found
thing,
footage,
yeah.
you know? That was in 1980.
It
wasn't found footage. It wasn't a thing.
It's kind of a mix of the two, but yeah, you're right. It could kind of be like a proto found footage because it has elements of that,
fair.
which we should be talking about
enough.
that instead because that's a much cooler movie to talk about.
Anyway, moving on. Then we had in 1999, again, one of the greatest films probably ever made, Galaxy Quest.
Do you know what? I've never seen it in full.
That's because it's kind of dumb.
I've never watched it in full.
Brilliant. Oh man, Galaxy Quest is fantastic.
If you're a super dork that loves Star Trek and Star Wars, then that movie's for you.
Like I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but like I liked the movie. I think
if you've actually touched boobies before, then it's not that great.
Listen, I love Star Trek, so it baffles me why I've never watched this, but I don't know, I just can't.
Oh, mate, you have got to.
I just can't get with it.
I love the idea that there are aliens out there watching Star Trek and thinking that it's real. And that's the whole premise.
Yeah.
I got
what the story's about.
Phil, I got news for you. There's humans that think that shit's real. When I was in high school, there was this senior in my art class that had these he carried a stack of notebooks with him everywhere, and he was always writing in them and drawing in them. And I asked him one time it was, and he said it was the plans that he was using to build a real USS Enterprise that he had in his backyard, and he was dead serious about it.
Of course.
My favorite part of Galaxy Quest is Alan Rickman, who is obviously a thespian British actor who landed this role in Galaxy Quest and kind of hates the character. And my favorite line from the whole thing is when they're opening a new supermarket and he just goes, "By Granthar's hammer, what a saving."
You know what? I kind of rescind what I said. It is very funny and it is pretty good.
It's brilliant. Moving on again. The Mummy.
A very good
Brendan
movie.
Fraser.
A very good summer blockbuster, high concept, fun popcorn movie. That's a very well done, remake done right.
I'll tell you who steals the show in that film is, I think he's called Kevin O'Connor, who is kind of Brendan Fraser's little friend. And it's like when the mummy's coming at him and he's like going,
he keeps trying different languages to.
Yeah. And he actually has quite a good line in there where he says, "It's better to be at the right hand of the devil than in his path." And again, it's kind of...
That's good.
Yeah, I know. It's a great line from like a really, like I say, summer blockbuster movie where you're not really going to think about it. But The Mummy is it's great fun. It's one of those films you could put on at any time. Just enjoy it.
Sequel's fun too. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I feel like it's a movie that got ruined by the sequels.
No, I don't think that's true. I think that your judgment is questionable at best.
Askew.
Yeah.
I remember seeing what Scorpion King looked like in that movie.
Well, dude, it was like 2000.
No, that's like the third one, I think it was. And then also that year.
That was the second one.
Yeah. The third one was when they go to China over.
Oh yeah.
The dragon.
Right. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah. And also came out in 1999, and shut up, Sean, was The Phantom Menace, which I still have fond affections at seeing for the first time in the cinema. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. We're all done.
Move on.
We're all done. We're all done. That was part one of my list of 1999. Let me find the second part, because there was just so many movies I couldn't list them all in one go because I couldn't be bothered. I mean,
The Audition.
Time.
The Audition, didn't that come out in 99?
I'm coming to that.
I didn't know that came out that long ago.
You're old,
yeah,
man.
it's weird, isn't it?
You're old, dude. Deal with it.
I've never seen.
We also had Stanley Kubrick's last movie, Eyes Wide Shut.
Stupid
Which
movie.
No, it's
Great
not.
film.
It's all about Hollywood and Scientology.
I don't think
And
it's
Nicole
about
Kidman's,
if by
Nicole Kidman's
Scientology,
tits and ass.
if by Scientology you mean a bunch of Jewish people that run Hollywood, then yes.
That's exactly what it's about, though. And Kubrick made that very clear, that it was kind of about what goes on behind the scenes in Hollywood. That there are
I don't
rich
think-
people cults.
Yes,
And
Stanley,
no coincidence that he died about a month after it being made as well.
very strangely, it was like very obvious and on the nose for Stanley. He's much more subtle normally, but he was like,
Yeah, much more subtle than that. Yeah.
Normally,
okay,
yeah.
moving on before we got ourselves again into too much trouble. Office Space by Mike Judge.
excellent
Never seen
film. Oh, Matthew, you would love it.
What?
Really?
Man,
Yeah,
Matt-
you would.
oh,
you would.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
dude, legitimately, you will love it.
What's it
I
about?
mean,
Tell me what
it's
about.
aged kind of like, I don't want to say aged poorly because it has.
Don't listen
but-
to the inferior, Sean. Listen to me.
But like,
Yeah,
I feel like someone in the comment section to this was talking about like, yeah, I didn't like it, and he said he watched it like a couple of years ago or something. And I think it's something that was a product of its time. I think it still holds up perfectly well, but I can see where someone watching it now might not get the same connection as watching it when it first came out.
Well, the only
don't
reason
What's
is
it about,
because
though, boys?
it's about these.
It's a satire about
computer-
Office.
Yeah,
work.
these guys that work at an office that's like updating computers before the Y2K thing. But
What, like
that-
9 to 5?
no,
It's
it's
got
like
no. It's got like the boss who keeps coming in and sort of saying, "I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday if that's okay."
Oh, it's that guy.
You-
In
Yeah.
the memes.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you could just tone it
seriously,
down.
seriously, you've got to give it a try. It is.
Okay,
it is
I will watch it.
It's more than just that though. It's not like just they're in this
yeah.
office.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah, it's
Well,
great.
The scene, Matt, I will say the scene with the printer you'll love, because I think anybody who's ever owned a printer loves that scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on. I rate this Sleepy Hollow.
It's
I
pretty.
still rate this.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's
Didn't mind that.
It's a good story. It's atmospheric. It's well done. I like it.
I didn't mind it.
it's very beautiful, but it doesn't. It's forgettable too at the same time. I'm
It's
afraid.
not rewatchable. It's not rewatchable.
Yeah, it's not.
I have put it back on my watch list. I haven't seen it for a while. Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman.
Two pretentious assholes. Two
Yeah.
pretentious assholes.
I think you guys are
Lost me
crazy.
Jim Carrey.
I think Andy Kaufman was ahead of his time. I think he would have been perfect for YouTube. Jim Carrey. I mean, Jim Carrey can be up his own ass a lot, but I think he did a good job with this.
He played
Apparently,
him.
he drove the director was Milos Froman, and apparently he drove him absolutely insane because he really like went method with the whole thing, and so. You know, I can understand how some people could see Andy Kaufman as funny, but I can also see how some people would absolutely hate his guts.
Well,
You know, he's kind of like one of those characters.
apparently Jim Carrey wanted Jerry the King Lawler to actually be that while they were wrestling each other, and he kept like, I guess Jerry Lawler kept going to the director's like, no, you can't. Like I think it was like insurance things or whatever like that. Like, no, you can't do this. And then Jim Carrey would be like, oh, don't listen to him, listen to me. He beat my ass in the ring.
I've put it on my watch list because I haven't seen it for a long time, but I do remember it being a very good and very clever movie as well in places with what goes on.
Courtney Love is in it, for Christ's sakes. How good could it be?
I mean, not every movie.
She was good friends with what's his name? Harvey Weinstein, though.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Kurt Cobain is you guys haven't heard of this, but there's a series over here called Father Ted, and Dougal, who's not very bright, he said, "We were talking about America the other day. That Kurt Cobain. Imagine blowing your head off with a shotgun. How did he survive that? I've been missing some of the chat there. Sorry, guys. It's not a terrible movie, you idiot. Right, where
What's
are
a
we?
terrible movie?
Yeah, he says it's inaccurate. I don't know about that.
What's
I'm not too
inaccurate?
sure. Man on the Moon. He says
Man
on the Moon.
It's, dude, it's a Hollywood movie. Of course, it's inaccurate.
Well, I mean, like, but how inaccurate is like? I mean, every movie has its artistic bullshit.
who cares
you know?
how accurate it is? It's entertainment, man.
Is it good though?
Well, like, okay, so when it comes to accuracy, I only care about it in certain situations. Like at the end of oh fuck, what was that Ben Affleck movie where they were pretending to make a movie so that they could go get people out of another country?
Argo.
Argo.
Right.
So like the whole ending to that, they just got on the plane and left in real life. Where in the movie, there's all that tension building up on if they're going to get caught or not. That's fine to me when you're going to change stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Patch Adams took a real person, made it a woman, and a love interest of Robin Williams or Patch Adams, which is not at all true. Like he had a best friend that did get shot by someone that was a mental patient that they went and seen. But it was a dude, it wasn't a woman. There was no love interest between the two. I mean, like shit like that is like
We got the world's authority on the true Patch Adams here.
you do. Like, I mean, it's just shit like that. It's like why? What you had no reason. Just make a new character to be his love interest, and then you can have that character stay the same.
We're moving on. Man on the Moon is a good movie. The next one we're going to talk about. Sean will like this now. Audition.
Oh, I do like that.
Never seen
Romantic
this either.
comedy.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I want to see a film where a woman vomits into a dog bowl and then makes a dude eat it?
Strangely enough, no.
I mean, is that really that's it? Like,
then this movie's probably not for you, Matthew.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
It's one of those films that sits with you a long time after you've seen it.
Yeah, forget it.
I
don't do vomit.
Made by the master Takashi Miike, it is an absolute. It is horrifying. It is revolting.
Yeah, never gonna watch it.
It's got a. If you don't agree with me and Phil's takes on most exploitation movie, you probably should skip it.
Yeah, I'll be skipping that. I won't be watching that.
Let's move on then to another great classic from 1999, Lake Placid.
It's
a
all
very
right.
underrated crocodile movie.
It's like a giant crocodile.
Yeah,
it's great fun. It's the cast that make it. They are the cast
Betty
work
White's
so
in it. That's
well.
the only.
Is that John Voight? Or is he in the?
No, that's
snake
Anaconda. You're thinking of Anaconda.
I-
This has
honestly,
Oliver
just
Platt and
total-
Bridget Fonda. And
instead of that
Total
movie,
rubbish.
if I would recommend instead of that a movie called Alligator from the 80s about a giant alligator in the sewers in New York.
That's quite good.
Which
Quite fun.
much
I
better.
like Blade Placid. Okay, going on to a weird one now, which is kind of not many people have heard of, Ravenous, with
It's,
Guy Pearce. and
Yeah, that
Forgettable.
sounds really interesting.
It's forgettable.
It's not. It's a movie that sat with me for quite a while. I really liked it.
You
I
would.
Sicko.
Sicko.
No, because it's basically the principle of it is that the Indians believed if you drunk the blood of your enemies, it made you stronger.
That's
And
true.
it's kind of what
That sounds
if
based.
very bad.
I think we should do that.
Straight there, then if your
No,
enemy died
you know
before
what?
you, he's
No.
obviously weaker than you are. So why would
You know
drink
what?
his blood?
First of all, Phil, they're not Indians. They're indigenous losers. Second of all, that's not true, nor is it based, because if it was true, they wouldn't be indigenous losers.
Yeah, but they didn't all drink the blood of their enemies. It is a film that is worth watching at least once. I still think it's a great film. I put it back on my watch list because I want to watch it again. I think it's very good. Another weird one from 1999. I love this movie, Mystery Men.
Never
Stupid.
seen it.
Superhero movie.
It's stupid.
I literally fell
It is
asleep in the
stupid.
movie
That's
theater
the
watching
point.
it.
The whole thing is stupid, and I love it.
It's
The
stupid.
sense of humor is totally me. I love the
Janine
conversation they have.
Janine Garofalo was in it,
Oh,
boys.
I know.
And Ben
But
Stiller,
I-
isn't it Ben Stiller in it?
Yes, Ben
Yeah.
Stiller.
Yeah, I'm out. Fuck that.
There's a whole scene where they have this
It does have
conversation
Paul
about
Rubin in it.
Captain.
He's
No,
dead.
that's just making it worse. there's a scene where they're having a conversation where they're saying Captain Amazing has been sponsored by his alter ego, Lance Murdoch, I think he was called. I can't remember now. But he was going, yeah, because Lance Murdoch is Captain Amazing. He's going, no, he can't be. Lance Murdoch wears glasses. Captain Amazing doesn't. If he took his glasses off, he wouldn't be able to see. And I'm sorry, I love Mystery Men. It's very stupid. It's my sense of humour all the way through.
Obviously.
Very childish sense of humour.
Obviously.
That's all I needed to hear. Never watching it.
It's dumb, Matthew.
Gorgeous.
Don't watch it.
Gorgeous by Jackie Chan which has one of
Jackie
the best
Chan shit.
fights.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk
Communist.
about
Not in the
some
early days, he
communist
wasn't.
Chinese sympathizer.
Yeah, I agree. I don't
Well,
Jackie
yeah,
care.
Chan
that's true
shit.
now, yeah.
He's never been in a good film yet. They're crap.
He hasn't. He hasn't.
I don't understand his fixation.
I
on
like the
Jackie
Rush
Chan.
Hour movies.
Fucking see you later.
His early stuff, and I'm going to say probably Gorgeous was probably his last great piece of entertainment. The fight scenes and choreography
Wait a minute.
is perfection.
You're forgetting Rush Hour and Rush Hour 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
shut up. That's not
Rush
even
Hour
going there.
3.
What I hate about Rush Hour is the fact that
Is
apparently Brett Ratner is the man who convinced Jackie Chan that he might be putting his life in danger. And it's like, what, the Jackie Chan who 10 years ago nearly broke his neck doing stunts and everything else, you're the one who convinced him he was in danger? Dickhead. Anyway.
Yeah. Fuck Jackie Chan.
Another weird one, which I'm sorry, I'm going to say that I really like, is 10 Things I Hate About You.
That's a great movie.
Oh God.
Which one's that about?
It's a
It's the
girl.
one
It's
with
a
Julia Stiles.
It's a girl.
It's
it's a girl movie. It's a girl.
It is a girl's
it's
It
movie.
sounds
It's a
well.
shit
I feel
flick.
like I've just got AIDS even talking about it.
It's a rom com. It's a
It's a
high school
rom-com,
rom
but-
It's a teenage
Again,
rom-com.
it's very
Taming the
well done.
Shrew or something like that. It's based on. I
Yeah.
think.
It's gay
I'm
as
sorry.
hell.
Sounds shit.
It's not. It's
It's
not.
gay
It's
as
great. It's
hell.
got Julia Stiles in it and
Ugly
and-
bitch.
She'll make a joke about the Jews. Cut this quick.
Anyway,
Brett-
space lasers.
Speaking of Brett Ratner,
I think
Okay.
I really like 10 Things I Hate About You. I mean, that has Heath Ledger in it before Heath Ledger was super popular.
was famous, yeah, and Julia Stiles as well. Like I say, I like Julia Stiles.
that movie
And I'm
was
sorry,
so. That movie
It was before she started liking dark meat in movies.
That movie was so. That movie
Look,
was.
interrupted Sean Bean's been ready
Oh my
for an
God!
hour.
Oh no, that movie was so gay that it made Heath Ledger go and do Brokeback Mountain.
Oh.
I think Brokeback Mountain was many years later.
I like 10 Things I Hate About You. Again, it's got my sense of humor in it, which is why I like.
See,
Yeah,
you can't say that. You can't say Mystery Men is your type of humor and then say 10 Things About You is your type of humor. That makes it sound like 10 Things I Hate About You is retarded. And
No,
it's not.
no, that's accurate because he's clearly got the taste of a 16-year-old teenage girl in high school.
In his mouth.
Oh, I do. Oh, I see what you mean.
Ayo.
Sorry. Right, no. Sorry. Other movies from that year. I'm just going to read out the list.
You
Don't
mean-
interrupt
No,
me.
we gotta go every single one.
No, you
Yes.
mentioned
No,
this, and I
because-
mentioned the ones. You mentioned this, and I mentioned the ones you left off, which.
Right. The Boondock
Focus them on.
Saints, Beowulf, 8mm, Three Kings,
Wait a
Entrapment,
minute.
Exorcist,
Beowulf
Straight Story, Being John
Hey.
Malkovich, Election, The Trench, The Limey, American Tail, Stuart Little, Bicentennial Man, Cruel Intentions, the Thomas Crown Affair remake, Tarzan, The Virgin Suicide, South Park, Toy Story 2, Any Given Sunday, Bowfinger, End of Days, 13th Warrior, Insider, and Magnolia.
8mm is an excellent Nick Cage film. Very.
8mm is kind of underrated, I would say.
Very
Or at least
underrated.
Underappreciated.
I've never
actually.
watched it, but I'm going to
You-
watch it because
Yeah.
It's like hardcore, but
I don't know,
Snuff
man.
movies.
It's about snuff films and
Yeah, I
you
don't
know,
mind a snuff movie.
it's kind of like it has the same
I
kind
draw
of
the line at
concept
eating
of
vomit.
it has the same kind of concept as the movie Hardcore does. Like, except he's not a dad that's going looking for someone.
Okay.
You
And
you
well,
read my review of it a few months ago, didn't you, Matt?
I mean, yeah, I did. It's on my list to watch. It's one of those films I need to come across. I'm like, I need to wait for the wife to fall asleep. Obviously, be sitting there going, "Why are you watching
it
this?
is a
It's
good film.
fucking horrible."
If you like that movie and you get interested in snuff films, let me know. I have a few snuff films that I'll send you.
I've still
It
got some
sounds-
8mm
sounds like a
here
deal.
as well.
You missed off. One of it, some which I think Sean. I know definitely Sean Team will probably like Summer of Sam.
I've seen that one. It's okay. 13th Warrior though is an excellent movie and very underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but-
13th Warrior.
Yeah.
I just
Remember
watched that
Sam?
recently. I want to say earlier this year, and I was like, man, I forgot how good this was.
I remember watching Summer of Sam and I got really stoned with my brother-in-law and my brother.
I mean,
And
being stoned.
I had a
might
1-year-old kid at the time, and I remember the dog walking in and talking, and we would just went, "What the fuck is going on?"
help. Summer of Sam probably would have been better if Spike Lee didn't direct it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he sucks.
Yeah, okay. It's written by Christopher from Sopranos as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's written by him. Michael.
No
Soy
shit.
Boy, whatever
I mean,
his
there's
name
some
is,
good
yeah.
actors in that for sure.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, because you've got who's the bloke with the nose? Not that I'm one to talk, but the crooked
Oy vey.
Adrian
Brody,
Brody.
and Adrian Brody, he's in it as well.
John,
Yeah.
stop it.
And
Who's
a
the bloke
sports
with the
film,
nose?
which I know you three won't be interested, is For the Love of the Game. I know any given Sunday gets the love for 99, but For the Love of the
Yeah.
Game with
Oh,
past,
man.
it's a baseball game with Costner. I really enjoyed that.
It's all right.
You can't go wrong with it, Costner. He's a good show.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Genuinely, going through this list, the only movie that I found that I didn't like from 1999 was the remake of The Haunting with
Oh,
yeah.
God.
No, you know what?
that is
Oh,
I
that's
re-
such trash.
I kind of liked it right up until the end, and then it just falls apart. Wait a minute.
Wait,
Wait a minute. Are you
wait,
talking
Sean
about-
P, your
No, wait a
tat's a bit good.
wait-
We the
wait a minute.
people.
Wait a minute.
Well, yeah.
The Haunting,
Your
not the remake of House on Haunted Hill. That's a different
Oh no,
one.
because
isn't it?
that was actually
Tragic.
1999 as well. Yeah, the House on Haunted Hill was in 1999 as well. It was again
I
one
did-
I
I
left
did-
off.
I did like that one. The Haunting
No,
remake is
it's-
stupid.
The Haunting was absolutely terrible.
Wait. That's what we're talking about, right? The Haunting?
No.
remake?
Sean's talking about the House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
Because that
Yeah,
came
that
out
I
again-
liked. I thought that was a good remake.
It was a pretty good
Yeah.
remake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Can
The
I- can I
Haunting
just-
was horrible.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
Can I
dog
just
shit.
jump in? Big Gator said Spike Lee is an overrated director.
He-
Racist.
That's true. He
That's
is.
very true. He's dog shit.
Wait,
I
director.
fucking hate him.
I'm quite
a
now. I
horrible
can't, be, I
racist.
can't be on a live show with you racists.
He
Inside Man was
is.
good.
He's a horrible racist. Like I can't stand.
Yeah,
him.
Spike Lee's a piece of shit.
But I
He isn't.
stand by what I said, that 1999 is the best year for movies, and I
That-
stand by that. Quite
You're-
strongly.
Debatable.
You're a
I mean, there's a
retard.
lot.
Debatable.
Wait, you didn't bring up Eyes Wide Shut, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we said about Nicole Kidman's.
we
fine
skimmed
arse
over it,
correct
but yeah.
hits.
Yeah, some people in the
Austin Powers
talkback
too,
were
as
really
well.
hating it.
You know what? Let's go back and actually talk about Fight Club though, because that movie has become more
Oh,
relevant.
mate. Brilliant
know.
film. One
Yeah,
of the
it-
best films ever made, without a doubt. It's not
That's
even close.
I genuinely, I think it is absolute perfection. There is
It
not a
is.
single thing out of step in that movie.
His
The
name was
pacing-
Robert Paulson.
And the
The bit that
soundtrack
gets
is
me.
killer.
I remember seeing it in the cinema, and the bit where Brad Pitt talks to camera, and then the film starts to go weird, and I genuinely thought, really, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And it was just, it messed with your head. It
Can
was
I
brilliant.
ask a question? When you first read it, did anyone guess that Brad Pitt and
No.
Didn't see it.
people,
Didn't see it.
I got it because I
Wait.
remember immediately seeing Brad flash up, and I remember turning to my wife and I went, they're the same person. She went, well, no. I was like, you wait and see. And then the end, she went, you're such a prick.
Matt's
you guys
trying
notice
to
that-
sound intelligent?
After the point in the
I know it all the time. Huh?
I did know it all the time.
in the movie, there's a point where he's there. What's his name? Not Edward Norton, where he's
Edward
talking
Norton.
about Tyler Durden and how he would place porno shots in
Yeah.
the movies.
Yeah.
Did you notice after that the movie would also keep having those flash
Yeah.
through every so
Yeah.
often?
Yeah, because you're Brad. And I think, isn't it right at the very end as well? Dick flashes up just
Yeah.
before it comes to the credits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fight Club,
I-
yes,
I
Big
love-
Gator said Fight Club is timeless. It's
I love
fucking
the
brilliant.
fact
You know, just
that
talking
when-
about it makes me want to go and watch it.
Yeah, me too,
When
actually. I'm
Tyler-
sitting here
when
thinking about how
Tyler
much
does
I want to watch it again.
Oh, that just-
When Tyler puts those bits in, and you cut to the audience, and you see the family there, and then the little kids start to sort of like get upset because it's
Yeah.
and
kind
the
of
parents
like-
look at each other.
yeah, and sort of like and stuff, and it is, and it is the whole thing of, again, there's a great line in there which is, we are the all singing, all dancing crap of the world,
Brilliant.
and it's just kind of, yeah, these underdogs and everything else, but then Taylor takes it to a whole new level where he is fighting the establishment, so much so that the ending is just unbelievably like
very
oh,
base.
it's
and amazing.
fantastic.
So 24 years now, it becomes more and more relevant as we go
Every
along.
day,
Yeah.
every
But,
day it becomes
I'll tell you
more
what,
relevant.
we've mentioned this before, guys, about watching a film, doing like a live watch or whatever the fuck they call it. I would. Do you know what? I would watch Fight Club. I've had 5 or 6 pints, so I'm half cut anyway. But I'll watch Fight Club now and video us watching it because I think we should do that one night.
We can do
Just
that.
Sit there, watch a film.
We need to get a Discord because that's like the perfect place to do it at.
Well,
like one person live streams it and everyone else just joins the call and watches it.
Yeah, or
I'll have a slice of that.
Cecil does a thing on Twitch where you go on there and like he starts it, and if you want, you buy it on Amazon or something, and then everybody starts watching it at the same time or whatever.
If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it.
Well,
but like everyone has to have Amazon Prime.
What'd you say, Matt?
Sorry, Sean, I cut you off there, Sean B. Actually, something we should look about in the near future where we can sit down and we can get. Obviously, we've got Mad Inc. and Big Gator and Troll Prince and everyone else.
I don't want to spend more time with you people.
The problem is the movie has to cut off at a tight 90 minutes, or Sean won't watch it with us.
Yeah. After 90 minutes, he gets his phone out and starts playing.
Unless Tyler Durden gets a lightsaber and Phil's out. Where's the pew pews?
Right, no, right in the chat. Stop fighting. I said this last week. I will not have this. Right, okay. So what we will go on to now is the film club results for this week are. We had quite a few voting this week, but in last place, Pillow Talk with 1 vote.
Oh, thank God.
Weirdly, Die Hard was second to last, which was.
It's not weird. It's not Christmas time.
Well, and we've all seen it a million zillion
that's
times.
The problem. Everyone's seen it.
I haven't seen it that many times. Anyway, I'm not going to count the numbers. Then after that was Flatliners. Then Wizard of Oz. People would rather watch Wizard of Oz than Die Hard, right? The Quiet Man, which is the one I voted for because I don't think I've ever seen it all the way through.
Did Used Cars win? Please tell me Used Cars won.
No, you have to wait.
I'm getting to it.
Wait and see. Even
The Quiet Man, and then in 4th place was Planet of the Vampires. In 3rd place was The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, which is a shame because Karen Munro is very hot in that. In second place was The Untouchables, which means the winner was Used Cars.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Get ready for a very fun, good laugh.
I watched the trailer and I was like, I hope this wins.
It's very
Used Cars. I voted for it. Untouchables was my recommendation.
I watched Untouchables not even 24 hours ago.
Oh,
it's
really?
It's currently playing on Showtime or something.
I watched it a while ago, not too long ago, earlier this year.
He died like a screaming Irish pig.
That's it.
You brought a knife to a gunfight. I've just put it on my watch list, so that will definitely be watched. Like I say, it's going to be new to me, and I don't really know much about it, so I'm actually looking forward to it.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, don't spoil it. They all die at the end.
There's some used cars in it.
Goldie Hawn's not in it, is she?
No, Goldie Hawn is not in it.
That's been spoiled then.
I'm looking forward to watch it. We got till Thursday night to watch it.
But the guy that plays Bud the Chud in Chud 2 is in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Used Cars is a great fucking movie.
It is a great movie.
Phil, have you ever heard of it? I've never even heard of it.
No, again, it's one of those films that it's kind of, maybe it's just like a British thing, but again, I can't say. I think Robert
Zemeckis directed it.
Maybe.
No way.
Yeah.
It's a dark comedy. I mean, it's a lighter dark comedy, but it's,
I'll write it up tomorrow. If Zemeckis has done it, I'll chuck it in there.
Yeah, Robert Zemeckis, it was. So
in that case, Phil, perhaps we should recommend some English films that the Americans haven't watched.
Oh, fuck that. I'm not watching that trash.
Yeah.
Have you ever, Sean T, have you ever seen Long Good Friday?
The Long Good Friday?
Yeah, have you ever seen that with Bob Hoskins?
No, I've never even heard of it, man.
gets on it,
Oh,
man.
you would love that.
Sean B, you
Yeah.
saw it, didn't you?
Yeah. That was part of my
Yeah.
birth year challenge that I did.
That's right. Yeah. Great film.
I'll tell you a British
Yeah.
film that I like is the what's the one film with Michael Caine and he plays that guy that I guess it's like a
Harry Brown?
no he's kind of like a James Bond spy in it.
Get Carter.
No,
Yeah.
Alfie.
I keep wanting to say
Alfie?
like the Odessa Files, but that's not right.
Oh
It's
no,
like
and brain
he's-
fart.
what?
Oh god, Ruddy, the
It's not
Ipcris
called
file.
Brain Fight,
Yeah, the Ipcris.
Ipcris file.
Epkiss Files, yes.
Good movie.
That is a fantastic film.
Right,
That is
that's my suggestion for next week's film club. By the way, make note
What's
of
it
that.
called?
the
I'll write it down
Ipcris
now.
file. The Ipcris file. That is brilliant. Okie doke. We are going to wrap it up now. So let's get rid of that. There we go.
See, now
Okie
name
doke.
tags are back.
Thank you,
No,
everybody.
Harry Brown is also a good one too.
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Caine.
Yeah, kind of like an old guy who takes on local youth.
Yeah.
Eggy's name is
it's
wrong.
very-
Utes.
Utes.
Your name,
Utes.
your Twitter name is wrong on here. I saw earlier you wanted to.
Yeah, I know. I've been asking this fucker
is
for
it?
months to change it.
You can follow
What
me
is
on
it
Twitter. People can follow me on Twitter now that Elon has got rid of the
Don't.
ban feature
Don't.
Go on
Don't.
in. What's your Twitter, Sean? I'll follow you again.
at Kentucky Sean.
Wait, are all accounts back?
What's funny is on Twitter, Sean doesn't post for ages, and then he'll post something, and I think, oh, it's a bloody troll. Oh no, it's Sean. All right, mate. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? But yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for the chat. Sorry it wasn't as interactive as it was last week, but I've had other
I
people,
tried.
other issues to deal with here, as you can see. But
He can't
thank you
fucking
for
he
joining
can't
us.
tell all of our racism and pay attention to chat.
Exactly. And Sean B, I just noticed you've moved your bed.
What?
You've moved your bed,
Yes.
haven't
It's feng shui.
No, it's not. I haven't moved it. No.
you? It looks like you've moved it this way.
It
No.
looks. I think they fired up the Large Hadron Collider
Like
again.
the head of the bed's like over there. Like so.
I
It's
think
not,
Sean
that's
B,
not
I
the
think
head of the
Sean,
bed.
Sean B's been getting some action, and that bed's been moving around
Yeah.
that room.
It's called chasing tail. You ever heard that term before? It's like you got the girl below you and you're hitting it in the bed, like she keeps scooting up, so you have to keep like scooting up into her. It's called chasing tail.
Oh dear, I've really missed you guys.
Can I say the N word now? Then
No. Well, I'll tell you when the broadcast's off, then you can say whatever you like.
okay.
Thank you for joining us at the Outpost Frequencies, brought to you by thelastmovieoutpost.com for all of your movie news, reviews, and everything cool about film, website, and everything else. Go to the website every day. We put our hearts and souls into reviews and to stories to keep people entertained. There's always good chat back. So go to the website.
I devote like a good hour a week to it. I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, so do I, Sean, but it's just giving in the impression, all right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I spend at least a good 23 hours a day going through news items and everything else just to make sure people are entertained and kept up to date with the news. No, but like I say, do go to the website because it is a good, fun place to hang out, and we do
It's
have
okay.
stories
It's okay. I
every
mean,
day.
there's some assholes that ride on there, but you know, for the most part,
Yeah,
I
like
can
Sean
only think
T.
of one.
like me and Matthew are pretty cool.
We're true.
So-
I need a new top 10 list, boys. It's been a while. Any suggestions for a new top 10 list?
Top 10 movies.
I can
top
make
10.
a suggestion.
top
How about
10
you get it completely wrong?
No. Here's the top 10 list. Top 10 best.
Everyone talk at once.
Top 10 best kills.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
is that okay? All right. Well, it'll be my. I mean, everyone fucking whines about my list, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, top 10, top 10 best kills. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
like you know, trying to think of a good one. Like
There is another.
there was another what?
Qui-Gon Jinn in
Top
Phantom
10.
Menace.
Yeah,
No,
make
no,
sure
no,
they're
I
all
was
Star
gonna say
Wars.
There's another top 10 that we could talk about.
Top 10. Yeah, Sean, that's yours. Sean T, that's yours. Come on,
What?
Sean. Top 10. All right.
Oh yeah,
Grapes.
Come on, man.
you
I've
know
been-
what? You know what? I've already wrote that, and I've got it saved for the day that gigantic Kahuna finally says, like, "Go ahead."
Oh, apparently he can't find it.
Send it to me, Sean, and I'll upload it for you, mate. With pictures and GIFs.
I will do that. I'll do that next week. You go do the top 10 movie kills next week. I'll do top 10 rape scenes.
All right, there we go.
I'm sorry. Top 10 for
non-consensual love scenes.
Non-consensual love scenes. Yes.
Yeah, it's not they're all against women, though. No men ones.
Heidi's been waiting on that for the longest time.
Right. Okay. That is us out there. Go to the website, follow us on social media, and like and subscribe and share, and tell everybody you know about this. Because if you don't, we'll kill a puppy.
Wait a minute. I want to just point out that there is a Discord for LMO. I don't know what it is because I left it.
Is there?
Because no one's used it after we set it up.
Nobody ever invited us.
This was a while ago. This was back when McLeod.
The internet was new.
What happened? What happened to that guy? What happened to that guy Skank Hunt or whatever? He used to be on there quite a bit. He was the guy that if you sent like a review to as a reader, he was the one that took it and whatever happened to that guy.
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but like, anyway, they've been heard of it.
There is a Discord. I left it a long time ago because McLeod set it up, and then no one did anything with it after that. And so I had like 40 fucking Discords, and I left a bunch of them that I was not doing anything anymore. So there is technically a Discord. I don't know what it is though. Nobody can get to it because McLeod 43% of himself or something. I don't know.
Didn't McLeod going off? Isn't he part of the A&E call or something like that? I've not seen him on that.
I don't know. He got mad.
No,
I remember he left because of like a disagreement over. He wanted to post an article that was obviously, editorial opinion, and he did not think it should be, but it clearly was. I don't know. I remember that
weird.
Yeah, because he
anyway.
I don't know. I wish he'd come back. I wish he'd come back.
Yeah,
I thought I'd seen him on A&E call.
I don't go there.
I think there's another McLeod over there, but I don't think it was the same one. But anyway.
But yeah, we do have a Discord.
I can smell food cooking.
All right,
maybe we can get the Discord up and running and done something with.
Yes, we'll have a look.
I don't even know what Discord is, but I'll ask Dark, see what he's got.
It's a place for nerds and pedophiles to go hang out. Honestly,
there's a lot of furries on Discord.
Okay. Why haven't we got a Last Movie Outpost OnlyFans as well?
Because you had to make a few dollars.
Do you have Gina Davis getting her tits puked in?
I'll get one of my nipples out of that if you like. One of the three.
I would get mine out, but the areola,
all right,
it's so big they kind of cross over like a Venn chart. So
I imagine your nipples being like dinner plates. Like
exactly.
Unanip.
Unanip.
Just one going right across.
One big one in the middle.
Like a dog.
That's all from us.
6 teeth.
Thank you for joining us. Well, we've really wrapped up movies this week. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.